Okay, and hello, welcome to our discussion of the prologue of Game of Thrones. Just want to make it clear this actually won't be Joseph's first look
And
at the
why is
prologue.
that, Leo?
That is because the recording messed up. This is really amateur. We don't have any specialist equipment. It's just being recorded on my phone, to be honest. And my phone decided to not record our first discussion. Well, no, it did record. There's just no audio.
And seeing this is mostly a podcast, you kind of need audio.
Yeah, the audio is quite essential. But anyway, we will give it another go. This is sort of a trial go. If it goes really well, then you will actually be hearing this. Um,
And if it doesn't go really well,
then they won't be hearing this. So why are we asking about that? So, Joseph, what did you think of the prologue of A Game of Thrones?
okay, so we've got three characters: Garrett, Waymar Royce, and Will.
Yeah.
So Garrett is this really old guy, over 50, experienced on the Night Watch of
Knights.
the Wall.
Yeah.
And then you have Waymar Royce, who is this young Lord Prick, kind of, and he's in command, but he's really inept. Then you have Will, who kind of seems like the main character for this. It's from his standpoint of view, almost.
Point of view, yes.
Okay, yeah, and so Will's gone on this scouting mission. They're past the wall, up in the proper north, and they're scouting for these wildlings.
Yeah.
To try and kill them, presumably. And Will found their camp, and they're all lying on the ground, presumed dead. But Waymar Voice is not sure, so he says they're going to go back and make sure against Garrett's wishes.
Yeah.
So Garrett is left with the horses, and Royce and Will go on, and Will finds they're all gone, and Waymar Royce is kind of like sarcastic. Oh, so they're not dead, are they?
Well, actually, no. But how do we know they're not dead? The guy left the battle axe. That's how we work out that they're not dead. Something strange is going on. Because why would he leave the battle axe? And actually, with knowledge you gain further into the books, it becomes even stranger that he leaves the battle axe. Putting aside the knowledge that we then know that the others probably got them. Because the wildlings don't really usually make their own weapons; they steal them.
Okay.
So this would be really, really valuable. This axe.
So either way, Will is climbing a tree to try and find a fire when the others burst into the kind of mini clearing they're in and kill Waymar Royce. There's
Well,
some
they duel with him first.
yeah, there's some weird thing with shattering of swords and blood,
Yeah.
which I was asked about this by Leo, why in the earlier one, why don't they just shatter his sword straight away? Because the guy clearly demonstrates the ability to do so. And I think it might be some form of initiation, like to fully become a warrior in the others, you have to duel someone, or a human, and in this case it's mostly going to be people from the wall, and you're only allowed to shatter their sword once you've drawn blood from them, and once you've done that, everyone just kills them as if no one's facing initiation, and they just found some human.
Yeah.
And so Will is trying to head back to Garrett, who he hopes will be alive. If you've seen a lot of movies and stuff, you won't think he's alive, but in the first recording, Leo raises eyebrows at me, which means he's alive. And
Really sorry about that. My dad just decided to burst in with the cat, trying to. I don't even know. He was just carrying him up in the air in his basket. Terrified, the poor thing. Okay, what were you saying? You were saying about. Oh yeah, I raised my eyebrows when you said Garrett's probably dead.
Which means Garrett's probably alive, knowing you. And so Will quickly, I guess, checks on Waymar Royce to see if he's still alive. before he goes back to Garrett, and Royce, who apparently is undead now, just straight up goes and strangles him. So we're supposed to presume Will's dead, Waymar Royce is dead, and Garrett's probably dead. So, if unlikely for Royce, but for most of you, I guess Will have been your favourite character at this point. He's dead, probably. Waymar Royce is dead, if, however unlikely, he was your favourite character. So your only hope for your favourite character at this point still being alive is if your favourite character was Garrett.
Yeah. So yeah, my discussion. So yeah, the others have language, which is quite interesting because George Martin seems to be building them up to have some sort of culture, whether that is a sort of classic movie bad guy, just sort of culture is never explained, or knowing George Martin, it's more likely to be something sophisticated. The others, they'll have like proper motives and.
I mean, when you see most kind of like the faceless horde of bad guys.
For example, the orcs from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, the orcs from Lord of the Rings. They still have their language, they still have their culture, they still have like weaponsmiths and things.
That is a good point. I am of the belief that George Martin is going to reveal a lot more about the others' culture and stuff. And he hasn't yet much during the books.
You mean if he ever releases book 6?
Please don't, Joseph. Just please. I actually quite like your initiation theory because there has been some recent discussion on Reddit, I know, about whether the others were testing Waymar Royce because they were trying to work out whether he's a Stark. So in the first attempted podcast, I already explained to Joseph that the Royces have first men blood like the Starks, and they're related from intermarriage a few generations ago. Yeah, and Waymar Royce looks like what we're told a Stark looks like, because we're told that Arya and Jon have the Stark look, which is Ned's look. So it's interesting. Are they looking for a Stark? Because the Starks have been always quite involved with the sort of Wall and the others, and I mean even the myth of the Wall and stuff. The Starks were early Night's Watchmen. I don't know. I do like the initiation theory. It's an interesting one. I'll keep that in mind if Winter Winter ever comes out. I'm looking at the others. I honestly think it's just as likely. So yes, good theory, Joseph.
Okay, thanks.
Right. So yes, these characters are not the people I've been telling you about, and it's basically what this is. This is that George Martin always tells his prologues and epilogues from the point of view, not necessarily of a character we haven't seen before, but from the point of view of someone we don't ever get a point of view from. They're all like unique, which is good. It gives us a more bigger overlook. What was your reaction when no one showed up? There was like no Tyrion Lannister or no Jon Snow or whatever.
I mean, I thought there was probably going to be at the very least a Stark, a Lannister. So whether that be Jon, Ned, Tyrion, Jaime, Cersei, maybe even Daenerys. I was pretty surprised, but I mean, it's just as engrossing. I think George R. R. Martin, it feels to me like he's trying to set up that even though you've got all this politics going on in Westeros and yes, Essos, the real danger is from the others and if the wall comes down. So I think it's quite deliberate that he's put a story specifically beyond the wall in the prologue of book 1.
Yeah, that's pretty astute. Yeah. So I don't actually have that much more to talk about this. It's really just an intro into the world of Ice and Fire. A few characters mentioned and stuff who, well, you might want to remember that he mentioned Maester Aemon. Will mentioned Maester Aemon, so he's the Maester at the Wall, and he mentioned Mormont. and he's the Lord Commander. So those characters are going to become important. Just remember those guys; they have actually been introduced. Anyway, Mormont and Maester Aemon.
Okay.
So yes, that is Joseph's. It's meant to be his first look. It's turned out to be his second look at the prologue of A Game of Thrones. I do hope that you guys like this. This is a good and engrossing format. Like, please tell me if it's not. I'll try and change stuff up. Yeah, so I will see you. And Joseph will see you as well until our next video, where we're going to look at the first main character point of view chapter in Game of Thrones, and it is from the point of view of Bran.
Do we have a specific date in mind yet, or?
I don't know. Probably. We'll say soon.
Okay.
Okay. See you guys. This is Leo and Joseph out.